О. А ну. Ух ты. Сейчас. А, слушай.
Find your way home. You are free.
Starting on the path. It's just, I didn't get to say goodbye. This definitely isn't the light of Alfheim. Mask. How? Shouldn't have been that difficult. Yeah, armor. Good idea. Now, how about a way out? Guess I'll find my own way from here. That mask. No, it can't be. It's not possible. If there's another mask, our path isn't safe. I have to find a way back.
Did she come from the Eagle Onslaught? Not the gates. The gateway is closed.
this is important to you. I wonder, do you think this could set you free?
You touch me again, and I swear, I will kill you.
Would you like to see how hard it is to die here, Godly? I can show you.
You can't keep me here.
The gateway is closed. There is no escape.
Resisting the truth will only make this more painful.
Setback.
No, Betsy. I will handle that problem. You deal with our new pet.
Okay. I think they're gone.
Just be careful.
Fresh air. Oh, you're different.
You're a cube. Talking. You know what? It doesn't matter. How do we get out of here?
Yeah, we've tried. There's no way out.
And you're a talking sword.
I'm not the sword. I'm the ribbons, obviously. And my name is Rue. The cube is Frank.
I'm Faye. There has to be a way out of here.
A way out? But you're not even all here.
Of course I'm not here. I'm dead.
You have to be dead to come through the gateway.
It's like you're holding something back.
This isn't working. Where are we anyway?
Afterlife of the gods? I call it the everyone.
Afterlife of the gods. Great.
So, what's the plan, boss?
Not your boss, Frank. That cask. That's why you're trapped.
Yeah. Wait, you made that big explosion happen, right? Could you do that again?
My magic, it's wrong here. I feel wrong here.
You won out, right?
I think we all want that.
We definitely do.
Faye, you need to accept it. All of it. You're dead.
How? How do I accept that?
Simple. Focus. You're here. Be here.
But what if I need to be somewhere else?
Then focus on what you do need. are you thinking of?
A promise.
Okay, we'll take it. Now let's get at it.
Okay. Get ready.
Wait, not a good idea. Bad idea.
Kratos. Kratos.
Rue? I think you should give her the sword.
How do I know I can trust her?
I'll give it back. I promise.
Okay. Take it.
Lady, you need to get out of here.
Not until I get you out.
I don't need help.
Here we go, coming up behind.
Got an idea on opening that cage.
Hey, kid! Get ready!
Come on.
No! I got a promise to keep.
Fine, but lady, that sword, it's more than you think it is.
Already told you! I will kill you.
Don't make promises you can't keep, Gotham. Try again!
Faye, focus!
Where? I will let you win by threat. You don't know what you wield.
What is it?
You're scared of this sword. Why?
I fear nothing.
I'm Corey Barlow, head of creative at Santa Monica Studio. Thank you for watching this extended look at the next core game in the series, God of War Laufey. You know, telling Faye's story has kind of been a goal of mine since we started working on the Norse saga. She is very near and dear to me as a character, so I knew that we needed the right person to see this one through. I would like to introduce Laufey's game director, Ariel Lawrence, whom I've had the pleasure of working with for more than 20 years. Man, there is nobody that I trust more to bring this story to life than her.
Well, thanks, Corey. Hi, I'm Ariel, and I'm honored to represent the entire Santa Monica studio team. We hope this small slice of game we've shown you today has given you a good introduction to what it's like to be Faye and the kind of trouble she finds herself in the afterlife of the gods. The team is still very hard at work creating this new adventure with Faye as she fights through the Everywind to save the ones she loves. You can expect us to be back with even more details as we get closer to release. We're super excited and cannot wait to show you more of the magic and danger that awaits Faye. Until then, thanks again for watching. Bye.
Круто. Круто. Смішно. Дякую.
Debora Enn Волл, and I play Faye in God of War Laufey.
Hi, I'm Jek Kveida, and I play Frank in God of War Laufey.
My name is Pерліну Lau, and I play Rue in God of War Laufey.
There has to be a way out of here. I came on board to the God of War series for God of War Ragnarok. At that time, I was kind of a memory within Kratos that was helping him on his journey. I love that I get to deepen who she is, that this isn't only Kratos' memory of her, this is now the full person.
To be an original character in a new game, in a universe that I love and care so much about, it's really like dream come true stuff for me.
This is actually my first foray into video games. And so when I got the part, I just started going down every rabbit hole I could go down. And so I was getting really hyped just from reading comments and seeing, you know, the community, the fans.
Where am I? I deeply admire Faye. Who is she and can she be whole? So we see these moments where every, you know, obstacle that crosses her path, even though it's in the way of the thing she's trying to get to, she straightens up her spine, grabs her sword, and does what she has to do to get to the other side.
Frank is a cube. He's a cosmic cube that you meet this world called the Everyone. When you start playing this game, you get the feeling that the Everyone is in trouble, and Frank will stop at nothing to protect all the living creatures that inhabit this world.
So Rue is the ribbons attached to the sword, and she's always, you know, trying to point out the possible dangers and the risks. And then when she goes into fight mode, it's just like badass. It's so cool, and I love that contrast there.
I already told you! I love how acrobatic Faye is. You know, I think the Kratos gameplay is so fantastic because he's such a heavy hitter and he has that brute force. And Faye is just as strong and just as good a warrior, but her gameplay is spinning and whipping and flipping, and it's in the air, and that we can show that there are so many ways to be a warrior.
I think what I'm most excited for fans to experience is that we're taking you to a completely different world in this game. The gameplay is unbelievable. The characters are rich and vibrant, and I think if you're a longtime God of War fan, this is going to be really fun for you because it's taking you in a completely different direction, but still keeping those core pillars of the things that you love.
I just hope that you enjoy the world that the team has built because it's so beautiful and incredible and vast. And also that you enjoy the trio and the dynamic between Faye, Frank, and Rue. I think it's so much fun.
I can't stress enough what an extraordinary experience making this game has been. This very quickly shot up to the top of the list of really one of my absolute favorite jobs of my career. And we are all so excited for you all to get the chance to play it and experience it. And please just know that we love you. And every single minute of making this, you've been on our minds and hoping that we can make something that will just amaze you.
Круто.
It's Muller.
She was fearsome. Damn fine woman she was. Apart from her taste in men, of course.
Faye is dead. Rest of them are. One's left alive after pay the price.
Death is a natural part of life, my love. I wish only to be prepared for when my time comes.
My name's Jimmy Myers. I'm the narrative director on God of War Laufey.
My name is Elise Morgan, and I am the lead writer on God of War Laufey.
My first experience with God of War was playing 2018.
I started my first God of War game with 2018 as well, and I actually joined the studio while they were working on Ragnarok, so I got to see that team work on that game and see how Faye came to life, and it was such a large part of how we began to build this character in God of War Laufey.
These stories have revolved around Faye in a lot of ways, but they're told through the lens of other people and what Faye meant to them. And even though we got to spend time with Faye a bit in Ragnarok, we didn't get to know her.
Time is running out, my love, and there is much to do.
But what we do know is that she was the guardian of Midgard, that she was the guardian of the giants, that she had the Leviathan axe made for her.
Oh, we knew Faye was the last guardian of the Jotnar left in Midgard. That's why we made her the axe. We hoped it could restore the balance of power.
But we also know that she met Kratos at her lowest point, that she had Atreus with Kratos, that she taught Atreus everything she knew so that he would be prepared. But behind all of that, there was a woman who held a lot of secrets, and she didn't tell even her closest loved ones everything about her.
She had a quiet moment of life for just a while, and then she died. When she died, she had a plan for Kratos and Atreus, something that she hadn't even told them about, and we didn't know why.
She sent us here knowing we would find this.
But why not just tell us the truth?
But they trusted her, and they followed that plan, and everything that they accomplished in 2018 was a result of it. What players should know about God of War Laufey before they start playing is that it starts from the moment that Kratos placed Faye's body on the pyre and burned it. And from there, Faye awakens into everyone, which is the afterlife of the gods. And around her, she's in a lush place that is very different than what she expected.
All gods return to the afterlife of the gods at the end of their life. So when they die, this is where they go. And all magic goes there.
It's colorful and vivid and unexpected and beautiful, but it has suffered and been corrupted and become a bit threatening. Faye quickly realizes that the plan she had set in motion for Kratos and Atreus to protect them from a fate that she had foreseen may not work. Her priority shifts to getting home. The afterlife of the gods is inhabited by two gods of war, named Bexy and Sekhmet.
And they look at Faye and they see her as just another thing to put into a cage.
Faye realizes that she has a pretty big challenge to overcome in freeing herself from their grasp.
She meets the Cosmic Cube Frank. She meets Rue, these ribbons attached to a sword, and she's saying, let me help you. Let me help you through this. Let's do this together. And that is going to be the group that helps her find her way home.
Faye is a survivor. She's powerful. She's scary when she wants to be.
You touch me again, and I swear, I will kill you.
She's a great fighter, but she's also very willing to fight dirty. I think that scrappiness is something that gives her an advantage against someone even as towering as Bexy. Faye brings a sense of hope and the possibility of change. Her ability to overcome impossible odds is something she carried into the afterlife with her.
You can beat her down, you can drag her through the mud, she will get back up. She will get back up and spit in the face, she will get back up and keep going, she will get back up and keep swinging no matter what.
The aspirational nature of being able to overcome is something that she embodies. I really hope that that will resonate with fans. To be able to play as someone who can continually overcome and work through things and make it to the other side while still caring about everyone around them.
Come on! No! I got a promise to keep.
If you haven't had a chance yet, please check out the reveal. The team has put so much work into it and they're so excited to have you see it.
Thanks so much for watching. We can't wait to share more soon.
Oh yeah, круто.
Hello everybody, my name is Corey Barlock. I am the head of creative here at Santa Monica Studio, and I am excited to be coming here to talk to you a little bit about the God of War franchise as we're expanding out, TV, some games, but most importantly, most specifically for today, we're here to talk about God of War Laufey. And I have the director here sitting with me that I'm going to be talking to. Ariel Lawrence is somebody who I've worked with for 23 years. See, she's laughing because that, my God, is a long time. And obviously we've done different things throughout all of that, but we're going to get to know Ariel just a little bit in this sit down and talk a little bit about our past and what the game is that we're making here. Ariel Lawrence,
Yes,
how are
Corey.
you today?
Excited to be here.
Excited to be
Excited to be
That's
here.
good. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Look, so when did you start working at Santa Monica? When was it?
I started working in Santa Monica in August of 2003, when I was right out of film school. I got hired to cut trailers and videos, and I cut the TGS trailer for the first God of War. And then I wanted to do more than wait tables, so I asked if there was anything else I could do around here, and I ended up working in production. And I worked on God of War 1, 2, 3, Ascension, and I was 2 years on 2018 before I took my little walkabout in the world. And then I couldn't get enough of this place. I came back home.
That's quite an amazing journey. You have deep, deep, deep roots with the God of War world. Cutting the trailer for TGS, that was like the first sort of thing that I worked on, I think, when I got here as well. So
that was
we
back in the
started-
day when Kratos had blue tattoo.
Yeah.
And
we're still calling him Dominus.
it's still calling him Dominus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the team was only like, 30, 35 people maybe? Small compared to now.
It was weird. It's weird to think
Yeah.
about making games with that small of a group of people. When we were like 65 people, that's so much. And then we got to 100, that's so much.
Yeah.
Oh, what are the most memorable aspects working on God of War, the whole franchise?
The whole franchise, I mean, I think each game definitely, I think, left its mark, or scars, battle scars. Yeah. But, you know, it's like the studio's, just the commitment to quality and the late nights with each other trying to figure out some problem or make some magic happen in the middle of the night, or coming back in and somebody took a smoke break and, I don't know, maybe changed the boss of God of War 2. I think that might have been
I feel like that's a dig at me. I feel like I'm going to own that one because that's entirely true.
But, yeah, no, I mean, every game was like a new set of challenges. Like, how do you make Titans? How do you make the trailer for the Titans come through?
Yes.
How do you make multiplayer? How do you reinvent Kratos? Where does he go? Like, so it's always an exciting story.
Why did you want to come back to the studio? What made you decide this is where I need to be?
The short and probably semi-uncomfortable answer for this interview is I came back for you. Definitely that bar of excellence has been in my head for a long time. Your creative voice has weighed down on some projects of mine, and I don't know, I just missed the team's commitment, just the people here. I came back for the people.
Came back for the people?
I came back.
I like that. That's better than coming back for me, because the voices in my head are not ones to follow.
That's your voice in my head, not your voices in my head. That's different.
True. If you had my voices in you, that's not even, that's a whole nother series of videos, I imagine. So, when you found out coming here that you were going to work on a Faye game, what was your thoughts?
I was excited. I was a little shocked, surprised, I think, that we were going to do something different. I think when I was coming back and talking to folks, I had just assumed it would be another Kratos game, and that's who I would be telling stories about for the rest of my life. And I was okay with that. But I think finding out about Faye and just seeing somebody whose journey that we could really explore and turn new pages on was exciting. Looking at the world in a different lens was exciting. So it was, just saying yes to that opportunity, I think was really cool.
It's a good outlook. Just say yes to that opportunity.
That's what has gotten me into a lot of trouble over the years.
That's true. I still can't
present position included.
Yeah, I always try to talk people out of directing.
You did try to talk me out of doing
But I try to be upfront and straightforward about it, just so that people don't feel like, you tricked me. Like,
no, you were very honest about the work that it entailed for doing this. Yes.
Yes. And it's exciting. Faye is, while it's a different thing, it's still part of the larger tapestry of what we're doing. We really want to explore all of these different characters in there, but there's always going to be Kratos games, like throughout the whole history. We're super
we can't not tell stories about the big guy.
Let's go into directing. What are you most excited about in stepping into the role as a game director?
There's like a fine line between excitement and being terrified. I think I'm on the edge of excitement most of the time, but I think being able to be curious about everything on the game. Previously, I had done a lot of work on story and cinematics and in different pipelines for the game, but this really got me able to be nosy and ask questions and really get people to look at things differently from a lot of different perspectives. And to just, have an opportunity to kind of like find myself in Faye's story was exciting. But yeah, then I think just, captaining this ship with all of these humans making this game together is a lot, but it's very exciting.
I want to go back to something you said, finding yourself. Talk about what part of you you're putting into the game.
I mean, I think, we've always come at stories from Santa Monica with, characters at their heart, right? And finding ourselves, even in Kratos, everybody's had a point in their time when they've made some decisions that maybe they wish they hadn't and really thought things through again. But I think for Faye, that was that question of, who is she? Who was this person that everybody idolized and, just stood in awe of, and to really think about all the facets that make up that person, right? She's, a loving wife and mother, but she's also a warrior. She's a guardian of her people. She's a rebellion leader. She's all of these things. And to be able to have an opportunity to just explore that person with the detail and the love that Santa Monica brings is just, very touching, very exciting.
What's the hardest part for you? Stepping into the role as a director, is there any sort of individual parts where it's like, that you feel great about overcoming? I think that's probably the more specific question is there's hard parts, but we always sort of push through and we get to that other side. What's any hard parts you can think of that?
I mean, I think the hard parts there are definitely some places where I feel, comfortable, like story is a comforting place for me. But there are some places that are new in a way that having to be familiar with that depth, there's engineering things and design issues and all sorts of things, and everybody has a question and they all need their answers immediately, and trying to kind of keep the potluck that we have going and becoming still digestible at the end of the meal, like that's been very difficult sometimes, of just trying to get everything they need to be as creative as possible, and then keep a handle on making sure that it still tells a singular story of Faye. I think that's been it's been a learning and growing experience as time has gone on. And there's always voices from the top, and there's always voices from the bottom. Everybody has an opinion, which is one of the things I love about Santa Monica, and it's trying to figure out how to temper those to make sure that we're being truthful to who Faye is and what her journey is on that.
So you kind of dove into aspects of design and engineering and got more educated on that.
Yeah, I think that's the fun part. I mean, that's the wonderful part about making games, is that it's not just one person, it's hundreds of people now to make it together. And, that's, there are places and things that every day is different. Every day is, 80 different meetings about different topics, and, play testers and build times and, design questions and art questions and narrative questions and, working with actors, and it's exciting. So, I don't know, it keeps me busy. Never a dull moment.
Exciting, overwhelming, but fantastic. And you are doing an amazing job at it.
I appreciate it.
Falling into the crazy fray quite well. So, for the folks at home who haven't seen the announce that we've done, why don't you do a little recap? Tell us what that's all about.
Well, the game reveal that we just showed, hopefully everybody's gotten a chance to see it. If not, maybe they'll take a chance right now. But we start with Faye's dead. We wanted to start exactly... we wanted to start exactly where the players were, which is, in God of War 2018, her death was the impetus for Kratos and Atreus' journey together and their growth together and going on to Ragnarok. We debated whether or not to tell a story before that, and what we really wanted to do was just pick up exactly where the player was, which is Faye's dead, and she finds herself in the afterlife of the gods. And there she discovers some things that make her question whether or not Kratos and Atreus are safe. And she's determined to find a way back to help them.
What do you want the audience to feel?
I'd like the audience to watch the game reveal and be like, this is amazing, I can't wait to play this. I can't wait to be in Faye's boots kicking ass. That's what I want the players to feel. I want them to be curious about the world and the opportunity that it has in magic and the gods that we're going to meet with all these mythologies coming together in the afterlife. I want them to be excited and swept away by the world and Faye's story and where she's going to go.
But this is gameplay in this reveal. And this is showing that this is not a prequel. This is a continuation of the timeline right at the beginning of God of War 2018. What happened to Faye after that funeral?
Exactly. And we were really intent on it being gameplay. We wanted the first taste for players to really center on what it's like to play this game and who this person is, and really show you what you're going to get when you pick the controllers up.
Speaking of who this person is, Faye, what is the most interesting aspect of her? Why is Faye such a compelling character? I know why. I have my own answer, but I'd love to hear your answer of why is she so compelling?
I find great connection with Faye's curiosity about the world, her loyalty to her friends and family, just the fact that she goes into situations that she's kind of unprepared for and kicks ass anyway. And I think that, she's a little bit more improvisational than maybe Kratos might be, and she's not afraid to to kind of be honest and show her kind of true self and emotions on things. And I think, for Kratos, we love him dearly, but I think sometimes he's a little closed off, and he's learning to open up a little bit more. So I think with Faye,
he's working on it. He's
working on it. But I think with Faye, we got to be let in a little bit more.
Where is this all taking place? Like we're talking about that Faye, she died. Right? She died at the end of beginning of 2018, and now we're kind of moving into this game and going on the journey. Where is this?
So Faye finds herself in the afterlife of the gods. So this is the birthplace and the ending point to which all magic returns. All magic. And so the amazing thing about that is twofold, right? We get all sorts of magic, a highly heightened magical world to play in. But we also get the return and the discovery of a lot of different mythologies coming together, and what happens when those mythologies kind of meet up, and being able to kind of encompass and throw our arms around different mythologies has been very exciting. Just getting to know different people and different people's stories.
So the afterlife of the gods is kind of this transcendent place above kind of the mortal world and the afterlife of humans, and then the sort of underworld of humans. It exists sort of above all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in Ragnarok, Odin really was kind of taken by that question. What happens to us when we die? We know what happens to the mortals when they die, but what happens to us? And so this is an answer for that question. What happens to gods when they die? And, things aren't working quite exactly the way that they should be in this afterlife of the gods. And magic isn't flowing exactly the way that it should be. So this afterlife's not exactly a paradise. It's a little bit more of a prison.
It's got a little bit cattywampus.
A little bit. And the folks who are in charge there, who you'll meet in the reveal video, Sekhmet and Baxi, they've taken over things. And as two respective gods of war, they have a certain way of doing things. It's a little bit more violent. So this place is, it's beautiful, it's magical, but it's very dangerous.
From a gameplay perspective, how is this a God of War game? What makes it sort of fit in the pantheon of God of War gameplay?
Well, we don't shy away from violence, that's for sure. So definitely true to our kind of brutal roots. But I think more than that, we're focused on Faye and telling her story and just really exploring the world through her eyes, that journey of her character and how she comes across this world. So I think that at the heart of it really just makes us a God of War game and a Santa Monica game. But, Faye affords us a few more opportunities than maybe Kratos might. Faye is a little bit more agile in the world than Kratos is. And she has a healthier relationship, I think, than with magic. She isn't quite the past that Kratos has.
She's more of the embracer of magic, whereas Kratos is the skeptical user of magic.
Yeah. So definitely being in a world so filled with magic, we can really lean into that with Faye. And, we want to stay true to the hallmarks of a God of War game, just that close, combat, that agility, the exploration of our world, story at our heart. These are all things.
Pick up and play.
Absolutely.
That sort of brutal, kind of intimate gameplay that we've been sort of refined through each of the iterations, taking it one step further and taking it one step further. What are some things that are kind of added to make it unique?
Well, I think one of the first things that excited the team was that we brought jump back into the game. Kratos hasn't jumped for a little while. So I think that we looked through all of our God of War games from the Greek era, the Norse era, and really we got to kind of pick up each element and think about, does this help us tell Laufey's story? She is always thinking on her feet and, throwing herself into kind of the next battle and really trying to work her way through the world. And so leaning into that, we were able to borrow some of those elements from the Greek era, the movement, the fluidity in there, but then also couple that with the Norse era, the way that we approach the world, our close ties with character, Faye's relationship with her companions, all of these things kind of led us to this new version that is uniquely Faye.
God of War Laufey. Laufey is played by the amazing and absolutely wonderful Debora Enn Волл.
Stunningly talented.
Stunningly talented. He worded it so much better than I did. Talk to me about working with her.
She's amazing, hands down. She just comes to the set with so much energy, and it's amazing to just be in this imagination world with her. And she is Faye, and Faye is her. She's also like amazing in the VO booth. Just one of like the best actors I've worked with in the booth, and just brings everything to it. Leaves no stone unturned.
Consummate professional.
Consummate professional. She's just a lot of fun to be with, too.
Yeah, she is a joy. And what about the illustrious Jeka Kwейда?
Everybody in Laufey is fantastic.
Yeah.
Jack is very excited, which is amazing. And Pерліна, our Rue character, is also amazing. And
who's your favorite?
I can't pick
We're
favorites.
You got to pick a favorite.
I can't pick favorites on camera. They'll count for me.
You have to pick a favorite.
I still have to finish this game. I can't pick favorites.
Yeah. We won't show it until after
I've heard
you
that
finish
one
the
before.
game, but you got to pick a favorite. If you had to pick a favorite, gun to your head.
You're my favorite.
That's the correct answer. Thank you. You've been watching Dev Talk, and I am her favorite.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know who I would pick. But I've only met like each one of them on a Zoom call. And I was able to participate in the mocap thing via Skype.
And they work so well together, like just good energy.
It really is a delight.
They all are.
Yeah.
Really, you did us a solid however many years ago getting Debora as Faye.
But she is wonderful. I am a huge, huge, huge fan of all of the work that she does. And the work that she's done in this is second to none. Just truly amazing.
But you've been asking a lot of questions, Corey. Why did you want to make a Faye game? Because when I came back to the studio, the Faye game was already in process.
Yeah.
So what about Faye did you want to do? Or like, what about Faye was interesting for you in terms of telling her story?
I think Faye is one of she's in my top 3 favorite characters, right, of the entire franchise. And she is just such an interesting character with how much she was an orchestrator of Kratos and Atreus' journey. For me, a warrior has sort of touched such interesting parts of the past history of God of War. Moving to a Faye game and kind of seeing it move forward, rather than saying like, hey, let's do a Faye game, which we did explore. At the beginning, we were like, let's do the time before, so we can really see all these cool moments, like when she was making the axe with Brock and Sindri and all the drama that happened with that. But ultimately, the most interesting part was really to tackle like, hey, what happened when she died? And what continued on, and start to create this new layer that exists above. And throughout Ragnarok, Odin was talking about, what you had mentioned before. What happens to us when we die? The other gods, I think, secretly think that a little bit, but his OCD like really took over, and he was hyper fixated and focused, and rightfully so, because there is this sort of transcendent place beyond for the gods that is very interesting for us to start exploring and seeing how all these mythologies mash together. And then that sort of guide being Faye, and seeing that difference of like, look, Faye was a warrior of equal sort of excellence, but also damage, right? When her and Kratos met, they were both pretty messed up.
Right? She did not have a good exit from her people. Things went south. It's so funny that you say that she's a planner, because I feel like we have taken somebody who has spent their whole life trying to orchestrate things into a perfect space, and then we've put them in some place where they have to think on their feet all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that is
starting to sound a little bit like you.
Maybe just
a planner who is put into a place where she has to now improvise quite a lot. There's a lot of you inside of this game.
Yes.
And for me, it's really exciting because the franchise, Kratos is sort of the tree,
of our tree,
and he sort of drives the franchise forward, and we want to follow him. But there are so many interesting characters to be created along the way. And for me, Faye and Sindri are to me the 2 most interesting characters. Like, and I love all the other characters. So all the other characters are amazing, and it's not that I don't love them. It's just that they have very interesting, examined lives that I really want to go deeper into.
I think also, like, we're starting to build a world where we can tell stories about different people and tell different kinds of stories, you know? Kratos gives us his story, and it's been changing and evolving, and that's fantastic, and, I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah.
But it also is nice to be able to tell different stories along the way.
Yep. And to see, where do these stories go? And introducing this sort of extra layer, the afterlife of the gods that actually connects to all of these other things. This was a wonderful conversation.
Thank
you for taking the time. So I want to encourage everybody out there to go take a look at the God of War Laufey announce that was just released. If you haven't seen it already, if you've seen it, watch it again, because it's even more awesome the second time. We're going to continue this conversation together, as well as with all of you out there in the coming months. As we get then closer to our release date, we'll even give you more information then. Until then, we are going to get back to work, because there is a lot of stuff to do. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Ariel Lawrence, for saying yes to direct this game. And thank you to all of the fans of God of War that allow us to continue to have jobs.
Yes,
thank you for your support.
Круто. Oh yeah.
Hi, I'm Kevin Peterson. I'm the lead hero designer on God of War Laufey.
Hi, my name is Denny. I am a design director focused on combat and progression.
I think Faye's power fantasy really starts with her past. As the guardian of the giants, she has proven roots as a warrior. Her combat needed to feel incredibly lethal, powerful, and fluid, and just overall extremely satisfying.
We wanted to build upon the strengths of the modern God of War combat system. And at the same time, we wanted to inject a little bit more of that old school, classic God of War DNA into it. So with the addition of jump, there's a lot of fun, new, more over-the-top things that you can do in this game compared to the grounded nature of the previous two games. And I think it leads to a fresh yet familiar feel to the combat system that I think everyone will enjoy.
We knew that we wanted to push on Faye's mobility, and by allowing her to transition seamlessly between the air and the ground states, it led to this hyper-responsiveness that quickly became fundamental to what made her so fun to play.
Faye's increased mobility adds a new layer to both the offense and defensive options that players have. You can jump over enemy attacks. Enemies will also threaten you with more dangerous attacks that you have to use increased mobility to deal with.
One of the defining aspects of Faye's sword is its tempo.
Забыл.
Which is a deliberate combination of speed, control, and relentlessness. From the moment that we see Faye wielding the sword, she's attacking with this incredible pace, and she's able to do that by building and maintaining this momentum and allowing that momentum to carry from one attack to the next. And that creates this relentlessness in the way that Faye wields the sword.
The giants were one of Odin's biggest threats, and they wielded powerful magic, and they had an affinity for manipulating souls. When Faye, the golden hand of the Jotnar, wakes up in the Everywind, she finds her own soul-related abilities supercharged. You can hit an enemy so hard that their soul will actually detach from their original body. And from that point on, there's a lot of cool things you can do. You can attack the soul, you can knock it into other enemies, watch the soul boomerang back to the original body and deal damage to it. I think players are going to have a lot of fun discovering all the intricacies and ways to master it.
So there are numerous ways that Faye's two companions will assist her in combat, and each one fills a very distinct role. Rue, the ribbons of Faye's legendary sword, will act in sync with Faye to bolster her moveset, but isn't necessarily going to strike out on her own unless directed by Faye. And that gives Faye this exciting opportunity to elevate the combat prowess of the pair to a greater degree than they'd individually be capable of. As soon as Faye acquires the sword, she strikes powerfully at an enemy, knocking them back, and then whips the ribbons at the enemy, which ultimately sets her up for this brutal finisher. And that more direct synchronization between characters is very telling of how the dynamic between Rue and Faye will play out, which is very different than what we see with Frank.
Frank is your cosmic cube companion. He's there to support you and +1 your actions in combat. If I kick an enemy into Frank, Frank will actually trampoline them up into the air. I can jump up, air dash toward it, slash him with my sword, and then pull him into me with the ribbons and execute him with a cool cinematic finisher. But at the same time, it's up to me. I can also just kick the enemy in, watch Frank trampoline them, turn my attention to some other enemy, and decide to go off and let Frank deal with that. Over the course of the game, you'll be able to upgrade both Rue and Frank to tailor them to your own playstyle. We focus a lot on Faye today, but at the other end of the spectrum, there are plenty of evil gods, gigantic creatures, and spectacular sequences to experience in the game.
But there's plenty more about Faye that we've yet to share, and we can't wait to share with you in the future.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Kevin Peterson. I'm the lead hero designer on God of War Laufey.
Hi, my name is Denny. I am a design director focused on combat and progression.
I think Faye's power fantasy really starts with her past. As the guardian of the giants, she has proven roots as a warrior. Her combat needed to feel incredibly lethal, powerful, and fluid, and just overall extremely satisfying.
We wanted to build upon the strengths of the modern God of War combat system. And at the same time, we wanted to inject a little bit more of that old school, classic God of War DNA into it. So with the addition of jump, there's a lot of fun, new, more over-the-top things that you can do in this game compared to the grounded nature of the previous two games. And I think it leads to a fresh yet familiar feel to the combat system that I think everyone will enjoy.
We knew that we wanted to push on Faye's mobility, and by allowing her to transition seamlessly between the air and the ground states, it led to this hyper-responsiveness that quickly became fundamental to what made her so fun to play.
Faye's increased mobility adds a new layer to both the offense and defensive options that players have. You can jump over enemy attacks. Enemies will also threaten you with more dangerous attacks that you have to use increased mobility to deal with.
One of the defining aspects of Faye's sword is its tempo, which is a deliberate combination of speed, control, and relentlessness. From the moment that we see Faye wielding the sword, she's attacking with this incredible pace, and she's able to do that by building and maintaining this momentum and allowing that momentum to carry from one attack to the next. And that creates this relentlessness in the way that Faye wields the sword.
The giants were one of Odin's biggest threats, and they wielded powerful magic, and they had an affinity for manipulating souls. When Faye, the golden hand of the Jotnar, wakes up in the Everyone, she finds her own soul-related abilities supercharged. You can hit an enemy so hard that their soul will actually detach from their original body. And from that point on, there's a lot of cool things you can do. You can attack the soul, you can knock it into other enemies, watch the soul boomerang back to the original body and deal damage to it. I think players are going to have a lot of fun discovering all the intricacies and ways to master it.
So there are numerous ways that Faye's two companions will assist her in combat, and each one fills a very distinct role. Rue, the ribbons of Faye's legendary sword, will act in sync with Faye to bolster her moveset, but isn't necessarily going to strike out on her own unless directed by Faye. And that gives Faye this exciting opportunity to elevate the combat prowess of the pair to a greater degree than they'd individually be capable of. As soon as Faye acquires the sword, she strikes powerfully at an enemy, knocking them back, and then whips the ribbons at the enemy, which ultimately sets her up for this brutal finisher. And that more direct synchronization between characters is very telling of how the dynamic between Rue and Faye will play out, which is very different than what we see with Frank.
Frank is your cosmic cube companion. He's there to support you and +1 your actions in combat. If I kick an enemy into Frank, Frank will actually trampoline them up into the air. I can jump up, air dash toward it, slash him with my sword, and then pull him into me with the ribbons and execute him with a cool cinematic finisher. But at the same time, it's up to me. I can also just kick the enemy in, watch Frank trampoline them, turn my attention to some other enemy, and decide to go off and let Frank deal with that. Over the course of the game, you'll be able to upgrade both Rue and Frank to tailor them to your own playstyle. We focus a lot on Faye today, but at the other end of the spectrum, there are plenty of evil gods, gigantic creatures, and spectacular sequences to experience in the game.
But there's plenty more about Faye that we've yet to share, and we can't wait to share with you in the future.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Круто. Oh yeah.
Please welcome our moderator, head of creative at Santa Monica Studio, Corey Barlow.
Oh, right, that's a lot of people. All right. Thank you for joining us, 4,000 of my closest friends, to discuss a little bit about God of War. So much exciting stuff has been going on with God of War lately. We have the God of War remakes that we just announced recently. We're super excited about that. That's going to be pretty exciting. We have the Laufey game that we're going to be talking about today. You just saw some stuff up there like that. Yeah, I was actually talking to the director of the next Kratos game earlier this week about all the different things that are going. Oh fuck! Did I just announce the next Kratos game? Okay. Code of silence, people. I need everybody to just forget that you heard that. Kratos is in another game immediately after this, directly connects to the events of the Laufey game, but I don't say anything about it to anybody. You gotta promise. All right? It's very important because I could get fired if you tell anybody else. But yes, the franchise is going in some pretty amazing directions, and we have some really awesome people that you get to see talk a little bit about their experience of working on the latest project. But first and foremost, I want to bring out the director of the game, my friend, somebody who I've worked with for, if I say the amount of years, it makes me feel really old, so for a really long time, because I'm feeling really fucking old. But she is absolutely amazing, Ariel Lawrence. Yes. There was a little bit been a debate whether or not the people who were on the panel were going to be able to make the panel at the right time, so there was a point where I might have to change the order, but I don't have to change the order. And this is what you're going to get, my inner monologue the entire time.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, I know. So the very first cast member I would like to introduce, an absolutely wonderful, wonderful human being. She's been in some shit with Marvel. She was a vampire at one point. Miss Debora Enn Волл as Faye.
I literally ran here.
She ran here. She did this all for you, 4,000 of my closest friends, who again are saying nothing about what was said earlier. Cone of silence, people.
Church of the Room.
We're going to continue on introducing some really awesome people. Somebody who I've worked with for a while. He's really into golf, I think, as a hobby. He acts as well. He played a smaller character in an indie sort of game production called God of War. His name is Kristoffer Judge, and he's fucking Kratos. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, Corey.
So good to see you. Fantastic. Continuing on down the line, an absolutely incredible performer, a wonderful human being. She is in Creamery. She is from New Zealand, and her name is Pерліну Лау, and she plays Rue. It's another actor who I'm pretty excited about, who, has done a few things. He's really an up-and-comer. He's just starting out on the indie scene, done a little thing, I don't know if you've heard of it, it's about boys. He's also in fucking Star Trek, so that's really what I'm most excited about. Please welcome Jeka Kveida. It's Frank.
God. Hello, Comic-Con. Hi.
It's so good. Are you guys all having a good Comic-Con so far? Yeah? Are you guys all having a good Comic-Con so far? I'm sorry, I forgot to ask my friend. Hey, good. That's so good. I'm having an excellent Comic-Con. I actually bought Season 6 Stargate SG-1 trading cards. And Chris Judge is right here. On the back. You're gonna sign all 72 of these for me. All right?
At 60 a pop? What are we doing?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Price to be negotiated later.
I mean, I'll pay, of course. You're right. All right, one of the first things, I want Ariel to talk a little bit about the art card. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with that.
Yes, hopefully people have been passing these out. So these are kind of a collector's art card. They are illustrated by a friend of the studio, Megan Lara. She is showing in the art hall. CC19, please visit her booth. She does amazing work, and we will reveal some more things about these cards later on. Thank you.
Woo! Okay, cool.
Hold on to this one.
Excellent. All right, so we have a bunch of questions that I'm going to ask and spawn some conversation between these delightful human beings, and occasionally I'm going to chime in with a question that I wrote myself, and it will be different than what one expects. But we're going to start off with something for all of our lovely panelists. We're going to go from here to Debora, all the way down to Jack, and I want you to tell us a little bit about your casting story. How did you end up in this game?
I mean, Jenny, I don't really know. I still am kind of pinching myself. I get to be here and a part of this at all. All I remember is that you had called my reps and said you wanted a meeting, but not necessarily knowing about what. And I, at that point, hadn't played video games in about 10 years, so I wasn't super familiar. And 2018 had like just come out as well. So the night before, I went home and I watched. I was like, oh, I'll just watch like 20 minutes, get a little feel for this. And then I ended up watching for like 6 hours. I just spent all night watching the 2018. It was probably some of you playing it and putting it on YouTube, frankly. So thank you. But I remember doing that, and by that time, I was this enormous fan of yours and of the franchise and of Chris's and everyone involved. And I remember walking into Santa Monica Studios and just shaking a little bit and trying to feel cool when I never feel cool. And I walked in the office and we had that conversation, and you already had a poster of Faye and all the things. And you know, if you want to get an actor to work for you, put their face on a poster. We're very fickle. And yeah, I think from then on it's just been kind of a dream. And that's where I'm at still.
That's delightful. And Bill? Kratos Bill? I mean, Chris? What's your classic story, brother?
Well, mine's not as romantic as that. So, you know, we've been together for 13 years?
Yeah.
13 years. So 13 years ago, video games weren't held in the high regard that they are now. So I got this piece that I read, and it was the best thing I've ever read. And I called my agent, and I was angry. And I said, this is obviously just gonna go straight to offer. Like, why are you wasting my time reading something I'm never gonna do? She said, well, don't hate me, it's a video game. And after inventing cuss words to call her for 5 minutes, she said, no, they're gonna do it a different way. It's gonna be filmed. And I was still very reluctant. She said, look, just go to the audition, and if you don't like it, we'll pass. So we went, and everything was as said, and it proceeded to the process, and I thought I had gotten it. And I get to the studio, and we'd like to introduce you to Sonny, who was this little runt. I think he was, what, six at the time?
6 years old? Do you think we would cast him at 6 years old? No. Come on. He was 9.
And, you know, this is your, read to see if you guys
This
get
is your
along.
boss, is what we said.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so it went great. And I found out afterwards, kind of, that the ultimate say went to Sonny. So I owe this whole journey not only to you, the mastermind behind this wonderful thing, but to a 6 or 9 year old who actually held the fate of Kratos in his hands.
I do like referring to him as a 6 or 9 year old. We're gonna forever do that. Pellina, what's your casting story on this one?
Yeah, so I didn't know at the time, but Eric Williams had seen Creamery and told the casting team to get in touch with me. And so I got this email one day, and it was like, hi, we're from Sony, would like to chat with you. And I was like, oh, is this one of those sophisticated scams they talk about? And I was like, oh, guys, I told some friends, I was like, I've got this email. And they're like, yeah, it's a scam, don't follow through. And I was like, but maybe, what if it's not? And so I had a meeting with the casting team, and then that went through to an audition with you and Corey and Ariel. We did like a monologue, and then it was a chemistry test with Debora. And then I heard nothing. And I was like, okay, well, that's it. And I'll never forget, I got into the car one weekend and put my bag down, and I just got my phone out. And you know when you can see the headline of the email that's come through? And all I saw was Sony PlayStation, hi Pellina, the team at Santa Monica Studios would like to offer, and then I just threw my phone down, and I was like, oh my god, and I can't tell anyone. Yeah, and it's been pretty life-changing, and this is my first Comic-Con, so I'm so excited to be here.
Best scam ever. So good. Jack.
Hello. I think for... Oh, wow, thank you. That's nice. I think for me, it also felt like a bit of a sophisticated scam. I think, so I'm a giant video game nerd. I always have been. I've been like a PlayStation fanboy since like Crash Bandicoot 1, and like, I've been in games before, but this is like the most amount of time I've, spent actually lending my voice. I was about to say likeness. It's not my likeness. I don't know if you know this, but I play what you might call a cube. But I remember, I think I, back in the day, wrote something on social media about how much I was enjoying Ragnarok, because I loved it. And the amazing Jeffrey Ketchum, he invited me to the studio, and you guys had just shipped the game, so no one was there. You guys were like, I need to take a big vacation. And I brought my buddy Nick. He was so excited, and we just wound up asking Jeff and Eric and the writers just every question. We're like, remember that moment when Kratos did this? How'd you guys come up with that? It was like the Chris Farley show. It was like that.
Awesome.
I was so excited. Then like years went by. I'm just a massive fan, and then all of a sudden, much like Deborah, like my reps got in contact with me, and they were like, there may be something for you in the new God of War game, and I flipped out. And I'm on a Zoom with Corey and Ariel, and they're like, yeah, we'd love for you to come on by, and you're gonna be a cube. And I'm like, I have so many questions, and they're like, it's okay, don't worry. And I'm like, but these guys are geniuses at what they do. When they say jump, I say how high. Like, I am honored to be here, so thank you for having me, guys, seriously.
I think the lesson we learned is we shouldn't ask people to borrow money when we try to cast them, because it does sound like a scam. Okay, Deborah, I want to ask you this question. How has your role evolved since you first started shooting all the way back on Ragnarok to now?
Ragnarok was so interesting because she was sort of existing within Kratos's imagination, within his heart. So it was very much what he remembered of her. What were the aspects that moved him, that changed him, that he needed in those moments? And it was such a beautiful perspective because our partners see so much of ourselves that maybe we don't always recognize, and maybe even see us better than we recognize in ourselves. So that was really interesting to kind of just start to discover who she was through Kratos' eyes, and then to come back after all the incredible writing that Ariel and her team and everyone there have done, and seen how much more even there was to her. I was immediately inspired and excited to kind of maybe show the less virtuous sides of her, the parts of her that struggle, the parts of her that feel like she's not enough and that she's failed, and I think there's a lot of really interesting parallel story to tell in that why she and Kratos are a good match. I think they understand each other in a lot of ways.
Nice. And for Ariel and you, this is a joint question, so you're going to figure out how you guys can answer this together. How did you guys go about finding the voice for Faye?
Well, I think we started with what was present of the ideas of Faye from 2018, and really just how did this woman start this journey for Kratos and Atreus together. And then as we got to know more people within the God of War universe, just the effect that this woman had on all of their lives. And so when we started thinking about how to tell Faye's story, we started with those things and started to ask those questions about what really drove this person to be so prepared, the love that she carried for these people in this world, and started to flesh that out. And then, when Deborah came in, she breathed so much life into that, and it's been incredible building that three-dimensional, rounded human together.
Yeah, I feel like just as we would, we came in with such a strong start, and then as I'm starting to put myself in there, and we're finding a voice and we're finding a perspective, and I really started to get into this idea of like the weight of a hero,
yes,
of a warrior, and that we put these people on pedestals, but they're also just human,
yes,
and they just have people that they care about. And we started, our joke was like Faye McLean from Die Hard, that she's a bit of a reluctant hero. Like, she just wants to get back to her family, but like, all right, I'll save the building on the way if I have to, kind of thing. But that, yeah, you kind of, if you are called to be a hero, whether you want to or not, you save the world. And that's just like, how do you finding the nuance in that story? Yeah.
Come to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs. Chris.
Yes.
I haven't heard from you in a while.
I know. I did text you last December.
Yeah, I changed my number.
Yeah.
So what do you think the impact is that Faye has on Kratos' story?
Well, for me, I always thought that Faye was the genesis of the change of Kratos. So much of the messaging in the first two games was about hope and forgiveness and being better. And I think that all started with Kratos' relationship with Faye. That's where it began in him. And what kept him going was her final wishes, but also ensuring that this wonderful life that we had created together would be better than the old man. And I just think the beginnings of all that began with his relationship with Faye.
It's two very damaged people seeing each other's damage,
yes,
and still loving and believing in each other.
Yeah, that doesn't always work out, but
right?
I'm glad in this case it did.
It's very good. All right. You, sir, in the front row, please pick one of these actors. Yeah, shout out a name. Are you? Jack. All right, I heard Deborah.
Thank you,
we'll
sir.
get to another one. This is one of my wild card questions.
Oh no. Maybe no, thank you?
Jack missed the rehearsal, so
I
he
did.
doesn't know what the
Actually
song
missed the rehearsal. Also, speaking of heroes, the way that Deborah came in at like the last second, it was like you were like stopping the explosion at the very last second in an action movie. You were like cutting the red wire. That was amazing.
It was very good. We are all very impressed with that. Jack.
Yes, sir.
Nice story.
You just killed me. And
What?
you need to choose which one of your castmates would you call to help dispose of my body?
Don't worry, it's something we've all
Why?
thought about. Yeah.
I don't know why I missed rehearsal. That was a mistake.
I feel like should we each
Thank you for choosing
give our
that.
qualifications? I feel like we should give our qualifications.
I think you're all very, very qualified, but I'm very interested to hear your qualifications.
I have a very large shovel, and I do a lot of home improvement.
Honestly, you were already kind of near the top of the list. That might have put you over the top,
And
Chris.
I know the way to the desert. I've been running logistics around Corey for 23
I take
years.
it back. Deborah's the one that killed me.
Yeah, for sure.
But Jack is in charge of disposing of my body.
I can keep a secret.
Are you saying Deborah is the one you're going with?
I think just based off of her entrance alone, I was like, she'll be there. She'll show up.
Her enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm for murder.
The qualifications she has. She really sold herself on it.
Of course, of course.
That's fantastic.
If you bury a body, there's a lot of like time in the car out to the desert, and I feel like we can just talk about D&D the whole time. That sounds great. Yeah.
That's very good. What specific facts of D&D would you be discussing?
Oh man. Okay, this is gonna get really nerdy for a second, but my buddy George Primavera is a dungeon master. Yes, thank you. And they've worked together, and I remember I wasn't telling any of my friends that I was part of this game, and my friend George was like, "Oh, I just did like a whole campaign with Debora Enn Волл," and I was like, keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah.
So I can keep a secret. You can trust me to bury the body.
That's fantastic. I'm really good at keeping secrets too. That's very good. I'd love to just sit here and talk about D&D all day, but we can't because I'd like to go back and talk a little bit to Chris and Deborah. What was your first filming experience like together?
Oh my God, you guys. So it was my very first day ever on a video game. I was already this like nervous, adorable fan of Chris's because by that point I had, watched so much and played so much. And literally, I mean, my job was to come in and fall in love with Chris Judge for a day, fall in love with Kratos. And it was easy. And Chris made it so welcoming. And, you know, we had some really vulnerable stuff right from the beginning. And I don't know, you know, anyone out there who's done any acting, you are just a person in front of another person looking into each other's eyes and being honest. And that's hard to do. And I remember nearly every second of that day because I knew it was special. Yeah.
It was a night. I've often said our first day was one of my favorite days through all of it. One of my favorite days in the volume, and we were kind of just thrown in.
We did all of it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
And you know, to make things work, you have to trust the other person. So we actually just went off to the side and looked into each other's eyes. And we just spent a few minutes together, and it was all there. Yeah. It was just the immediate trust, the immediate, I'm safe with this person.
And I love it because for me, I think about their meeting and this like fierce fight they had. And I was like, this was the end of that fight.
Right.
Where they sat down and they looked in each other's eyes and they went, that's my person.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it was, it doesn't happen a lot, but it was magic from, hi, this is Debra.
That's sweet. My first day ever shooting anything for 2018 was extremely stressful. So, Ariel, why don't you tell us a little bit about what your sort of first day on set was like?
With you or in general? I think.
And that I'm not there.
Okay, that's easy.
Very easy.
I think that for me, just coming into the volume, and you know, we do so much preparation beforehand, and the team rehearses and just goes through all the motions, and we put together an animatic. But because we are shooting a oneer, just everybody is just really on it in there. But then we can only kind of bring so much, and then when our incredibly talented cast comes in, it's magic. And I don't even need to watch we have screens that show us their characters, you know, in the volume as they are their actual models. But it's just a joy, honestly, to kind of sit with this almost live theater performance of these moments and watch these people come together. So, you know, I think it's always exciting, it's moving. I mean, you know, you guys said it was magic the first time. It's still magic now, and I'm just so excited when we can all get together.
So not stressful at all then? Okay, good. Now we're going to do another rapid fire question. It's not as interesting as the Killing Me one, but it's still pretty good. What are some fun or memorable moments from being on the set? And Jack, we are going to start with you.
Okay. Like I said, I'm a giant fan of this franchise, and I had never actually met Chris before, and I was nerding out because I was like, well, he might be on set this day. And I met him, it was amazing, and then I realized the rest of the day I was in this PVC pipe cube costume. And they got some photos of me, they're out there. I don't think I've ever looked happier in a photo in my life. I loved it, I felt at home in that cube. It was the best. So yeah, all cube-related memories are amazing, but most of my time in this has been in a voiceover booth, so it was just a joy actually to come into set, and I don't think I actually had really met any of you, but I saw you on screens a lot because I would see what you guys would do in the volume, just doing brilliant work, and I wanted to know what it was going to be like, and it was just incredible to be like in the Sony Santa Monica volume, like at all. So if I'm in a cube costume, I don't care. It's amazing. It's so great. And again, thank you for having me on board. I'm just going to thank you the entire time.
So similar to Jack, I've done a lot of my work back in New Zealand in a voice booth as well, but I've been fortunate enough to come out to LA a few times, and It's so amazing just to be able to be on set with everyone. I'm constantly watching you, Deborah. Sorry, that sounds creepy. But just like taking notes, watching you, Chris, and listening to you, Jack. And I'm just sort of like, hey, do like this. It's my first video game. But for Rue, I get to hold this little hook.
Yeah.
And I get to watch myself. You watch the ribbon on screen move around. And it's so fun. And yeah, it's so much fun being on set with, the directors, the animators. Everyone is so locked in and focused, and they really, really care. And that's something that has been so incredible to watch and feel when you're in the room, and you just, like you're really a part of something. And it's amazing.
What are the notable differences for you, between shooting a film, shooting television, shooting a game?
Yeah, I think, well, firstly, you're in this bright studio, right? When you're on location or filming for TV and film, you might be in a place where everyone's hiding behind the gear, and so suddenly it's just you and whoever the actors are. But with video games, everyone's just there. They're standing right in front of you, a few meters away, just watching you, looking at the monitors.
But you kind of like that because you're watching Deborah. So.
Exactly. And it's this similar thing where when you finish a take, everyone gets asked, were you happy with that? Check. But it's effectively a one-er. So this sort of blew my mind, because in TV and film, you might do a conversation as, my shot, your shot, a two-shot, a wider shot. So you're getting the same conversation multiple times, whereas this we get to rehearse a few times, and then we shoot it, and then, yeah.
Then moving on.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Chris?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
On what, Corey?
Life in general. What are some fun anecdotes for you?
Oh, well, I'm just going to be honest. I had a lot of trepidation going into the set.
Yeah.
Because we had built this space that was sacred. So once you walked in there was no religion, there was no different sexes, it was just a bunch of people with a common goal. Yeah. And it was safe. So I didn't know what to expect when I got there. And getting there, and the warmth and the humanity and the love that had carried on, it was just a huge relief. It's still home. It's still home, and then so till I was there, I couldn't wrap my head around a lot of the script, and then when I saw it, okay, seeing Jack in the cube. I was like,
it's such an honor to meet you, sir.
Because that is one of the great things about this, is the discovery. How do you play a guy 9 feet tall? How do you play little people? And just the different creative methods to really make you feel like you are talking to someone very little, or you're talking to someone tall, or you're talking to someone huge, or there's a gigantic dog there. And so I was like, what are they going to do for me? And when I saw you in that PVC pipe, but so happy to be in it.
I just got married. That was the best day of my life. This was really, really close. Really close.
I was like, and I often have joked, because every time we do something, so I'll get the script and I'll make suggestions, and they allow me to never even consider. I don't even know if they read what I suggest. And every time at our first read through, I go, you guys did it again. You did. It's perfect. And so once again, I was left with, it's perfect.
Deborah, do you want to talk about your first day on set?
I do. My my very first day on set for Laufey, we were doing a scene, and they handed me a prop, and unbeknownst to me, this was a very famous prop that they had used on The Last of Us. Was it a hockey stick or a baseball bat?
It's a golf club.
This is sensitive territory.
Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, not the like, but like the thing that they used to film, whatever that scene. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So some sort of sporting equipment, and and they gave it to me, and I was supposed to use it like an axe, and I broke it.
She swung it so hard, it cracked, and it echoed throughout the volume, and we were like, hot damn, let's go.
We're like, okay, I get it, this is your game.
It was, and then like everyone kind of went silent for a minute, and then was like, yeah! Like in the immortal words of Jimmy Myers, he was like, fuck yeah, video games.
Fuck yeah, video games.
Apparently, I have to ask myself a question. That's one of the cards to talk about. Why did you choose all of these characters to be in this game?
That's a good question.
It's interesting for me. What I wanted to see with Faye and the sort of journey was this extension and expansion of the world, where the characters that we meet are unexpected, right? A cube that you make friends with, that you actually feel like you can relate to, that you have an emotional connection with, I thought was an interesting challenge. Perhaps it's sort of the animator in me that I like the idea of seeing if you could make something non-animated actually be a character you can relate to, but also connecting it to this larger sort of plan of expanding everything. And everything that we're doing within the Faye game is kind of truly a continuation of everything that's going on in the story to set up what's going to expand next. So planning so many games into the future, this kind of mishmash collection that I see on the stage now and realize, fuck, I fucked up. We should totally recast all this. No, I'm just kidding. They're amazing. And everything worked out far better than I could have ever imagined it. So many years ago, when I remember inviting you to the office and showing you a piece of concept art that had you and a bird, I think, and Frank was on there. Frank was around since the beginning, and it's interesting to imagine how we kind of build this world out and see it slowly come together, and all of the things that are being done in this game are setting up for something so amazing. For 20,035. That's pretty much when we are. 2035. That's what it's gonna. I'm just kidding. That's not the release date. I didn't leak that either. None of these things are leaks. But there are tremendous opportunities inside of all of this. And Ariel, now that I've sort of rambled on about those, let's talk about the companions.
Okay. What do you want to know about the companions?
Let's talk about how do they enhance and connect to the world of the everyone.
Yeah, I think that Faye finds herself in a little bit of a predicament when she arrives in the everyone, and and Frank and Rue are often are in the same kind of predicament, and so in Faye they see the potential for somebody who can help this world of magic, and I think that's really like that where that first kind of connection comes from, that kind of spark of hope. But I think also each of the companions and Faye, are kind of in a different place in their head, and they each bring out something else in each other. So for Rue, there's some things about how the past is shaped, and what the possibilities are about the future. And for Faye, she's just kind of really stuck in wanting to get back home to her family and to a certain point in time. And for Frank, he really wants to be right here, right now. And so all of them living in this kind of past, present, future kind of pull on those threads together. And, it gives them all the space to become heroes, and I think that's really, it's been really satisfying to watch evolve. And, you know, it gives them all the space to become heroes, and I think that's really, it's been really satisfying to watch evolve.
Very good. Speaking of companions, we'll get to that in just a second. You in the blue shirt. Pick somebody. Who? Chris.
Christopher.
Okay, Chris.
Oh, wait, no. Is this one of those questions, the speeds?
Yes, it is.
Come
Okay.
on, dog. I worked too hard at this career to let it go with one question.
We're gonna rob a bank. And I need you to tell me the role of everybody in the cast for our heist.
The role.
Yeah, I'm just the person on the phone calling you and telling you I need you to rob this bank. So you're gonna hire all of your castmates. They
Talk about typecasting. No, I'm not. That was 14 roles in my early career. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Ariel. Ariel is the bank manager.
It's an inside job.
Deborah is my partner, but who I have to impress because she thinks I've fallen off.
Well, I like this already.
So I gotta make this last big score.
Excellent. It feels like a last big score, yes.
Pерлina is one of the detectives that figures out that it's us pulling this heist. And she gets there almost in time to foil it. Jack is the bumbling security guard.
Yeah? It's such an honor to meet you. Oh, gee.
Who unwittingly gives the information that allows us to be brought to justice. Take that, I did that spur in a moment.
That is so good. So literally every role you do, Jack, I'm just gonna picture you in the PVC key.
No, feel free to imagine it. It's fine. Just out there. I'm very comfortable with this.
All right. So speaking of companions, Jack, Pерлina, let's talk about your experience making this and your characters of Rue and Frank. So starting with you, Pерлina, let's talk a little bit about that.
So, I think Rue's character, a very complicated past, and I think Faye represents an opportunity. I mean, the world is in a bad place, as you've seen, and I think meeting Faye, there's definitely hesitancy there. I think Rue represents the part of us that if we've made mistakes or you're hesitant about something, going forward, you're of course going to try and be a bit more cautious, not a massive risk taker, definitely the one that's like, guys, let's just pause for a minute and think about this. Very different to Frank. And I think Faye is like an opportunity for change or for hope. Yeah, and so it's been, and it's really, really fun basically being on the shoulder of Faye. Always hovering behind you slightly. And it's been so cool being in those moments, filming with you, Deborah, and just, again, watching you do your thing. And
only over one shoulder.
Only over one shoulder, though, so I've only seen half your face.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's, and I love the friendship, the companionship, but the dynamic between the three, all so different, all really different agendas, different ways of dealing with situations as well.
Yeah. I'd say, Rue's character has a very complicated past. I'd say Frank doesn't really know a lot about his past. Therefore, he's a very present character. And he's all about being in the here and now, which is so nice for me when I'm recording it, because I'm a very anxious person and I'm always thinking about the future, but it's really been nice to be forced to play a character that allows me to just be in the moment and calm down. And also, just as a video game player, I'm used to doing voiceover roles where the character's screaming all the time, and I'm very happy I'm not doing that in this, because I know that near you all the time, that's gonna get old fast. So it was really nice to just be the character in something reminding everyone to be in the here and now. And Rue's a bit more hesitant. Frank, I wouldn't say he's reckless, but I think he's way more curious. And that was really, really inspiring and fun to play as well, and making sure this kind of triumvirate of characters, I think I'm using that word right, works, and they all kind of complement each other in different ways. And I think when Frank meets Faye, Frank deeply, deeply cares about the everyone and all the creatures, especially the creatures. He has a real soft spot for them. And when Frank meets Faye, he's like, okay, I think much like Rue, it's like there's some hope here. Our world has seen better days, and I think she might be the answer to that.
That's very good. Yes. your mustache is just glorious.
Oh, thanks, man. I grew it for you.
Absolutely wonderful. Could people please clap for his mustache?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm really only pointing that out because we got on a call recently and he was talking a lot about his mustache.
I had time to stall. This was not a call about the mustache. We were waiting for someone to get on the line. I'm like, by the way, Corey, I have a mustache now. And he's like, tell me all about it.
It was an audio call too, so I couldn't see it.
Yeah. And he saw it today and he went, all right.
Yeah. Today was the reveal of the mustache, so I'm sorry. I'm still absorbing all of this because I've been waiting weeks to actually get the visual reveal.
I'm glad it was worth it. Thank you, buddy.
It really was. That's really good. Okay, I'm going to do another rapid fire through everybody. And now we're going to come back down. You know what? I'm going to screw that. We're going to start with Debora because we've been there. And this is even better that we're starting with Debora. What do you feel your character brings out in Faye? Yeah.
What do I think Faye brings out in Faye?
Bring out in Faye?
I don't know if I know how
Only from the mind of Corey Barlow.
I know.
These questions.
What does Faye bring out in Faye? I mean, I think Faye is very hard on herself. I think that she I think perfection was expected of her, and when she fell short of that, needed someone to tell her that she was enough. And I think that's when this happened. And I think that we look at, we talked about two damaged people, but I think specifically two people who feel like they failed. They failed their people, they failed their families, and how do you recover from that? And so I think that, I don't remember exactly how you phrased it, but if that answers your question.
What do you think you bring to the group dynamic?
Oh, the group dynamic.
What does Faye bring? This is a new question.
Oh, this is a new question. Okay.
I'm crazy, but what does Faye bring out of Faye? That's good.
Yeah, no, I think that was good. She did shame and deep disappointment. No, I mean to the group. I do think one of my favorite things about this story is that with the trio, I don't think any one of them could make it alone. Yeah. That the only way they get to the end of this story is if they have each one of them present and contributing. And I think, for me, Faye is the driving force. So we're each bringing our piece to it, but I think in some ways, and we meet Rue and Frank and they're trapped and we're sort of stagnant and progress is not being made, and it's almost like Faye gets in and kickstarts it. But she certainly couldn't make it through without Rue and Frank being there to make that possible, knowing the everyone, providing that story, giving her a reason to do it. And so I think that's sort of my favorite thing. She's a little bit of chaos as well, which we need. I always love in that trailer that, to get us out of the jail, I blow something up and war begins. When you get up on top of that trailer at the end, you're like, oh my God, what did you do, Faye? Because everything is, falling apart. But yeah.
Excellent. Teal'c?
Yes.
What does your character bring out in Faye?
As Teal'c?
Let's start with Kratos, but for fun, we're going to do Teal'c as well.
Okay. What does Kratos bring out in
Faye? What do you?
Well, sexy time.
I'm so happy that I swallowed my water before you said that joke. There would have been a spit take.
Well, there's this really corny line, but great line in Wedding Crashers.
That's not where I was expecting this to go.
And it's love is a soul finding its own reflection in another. And that's from Wedding Crashers. Oh my God, I'm quoting Wedding Crashers. It's a great movie. And it really, I think, pertains to Kratos and Faye. And Just like their hearts and souls mirror each other, their journeys mirror each other's journeys. And I think that is kind of one of the, God, how do I say this without giving away anything? I'll just do it, Corey, and just say it.
No, don't leak things. Please stop.
I'm going to stop now.
Oh, that worked.
But no, it truly is, shoot, how, I'm going to stop now. Thank you.
Tim, ladies and gentlemen.
I think for Kratos and Faye, they both see the person that they want to be in the other person's eyes. You know, for Kratos, he wants to be the person that Faye thinks of him. And I think the same is equally true in that mirror version for Faye, that she wants to be the person that Kratos sees.
You just restated what I said from the quote from Wedding Crashers.
Except she didn't quote
I
Wedding Crashers.
completely processed it. Thank you.
This entire game is an adaptation of Wedding Crashers, right? That's why I signed on.
I said don't leak anything.
I'm Owen Wilson, right?
This is going to be so good for the later quest that I have. Pерлina, what do you feel your character brings out in Faye?
Sorry, I have no Wedding Crashers quotes for you. I think Rue, because Rue's quite stuck in the past, there's a lot of questioning of everything, for better for worse. And I think it's almost like it's a projection, really. And so because of that, I think Faye's always sort of forced to face the present, what's going on, what she's trying to do, you know, the goal that you have. But also, Faye's very brave, I think, and very driven. Rue can be as well, but I think that's where Faye kind of needs to give Rue the push. And like you said, Deborah, like the three work together and sort of bring different things to the trio. Does that answer the question?
I don't know, does it?
Yes.
It does. Thank you. Jack.
I think me, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
great.
your mustache.
I touched on it a bit earlier, but I would say that, you know, I think when Faye arrives at the Everyone, she very much has a mission. You know, she's there. She wants to see if there's any way maybe she can get back. She's driven, and she provides the drive. I think Frank, you know, it's kind of what I said before about being in the present moment, but I think when you have a character that is so driven like that, you do need someone to kind of help you take stock of what you currently have, slow you down so that you don't do anything entirely reckless. And it's nice to, you know, sometimes we can just have a one-track mind, and I get it. That makes so much sense for Faye. But I think that, if anything, that's what he brings out in her. And also, Frank is very much an innocent, which I love playing, and I think there is something where maybe I bring out a little bit of that in Faye as well, because she, at this point, has been through a lot. And I think it's nice to... I think all the characters have the pleasure of, like, seeing the world through each other's eyes. And Frank doesn't have eyes, but you know what I mean. Neither does Rue. Never mind. But we all get to see each other's perspectives, and I think it all helps all three grow and change and develop.
Lovely, all of you, lovely, lovely answers. We have 10 minutes, 23 seconds left, and the most important question of the entire panel is about to happen. Okay, I'm going to ask every one of you this question, all the way down the line. We started with Deborah before, and we're going to start with Jack and go all the way down the line. If you could put your character in any movie, so any movie, television show that is going on right now, that has happened before, cast your character, not you the actor, this isn't trying to get a job, so you the character would be inside of there. So to give you an example, be like Titanic, and Frank is playing the fucking Titanic. Leonardo DiCaprio is Debora Enn Волл. And Chris Judge.
Easy.
Yeah. Chris Judge is in it, and My Heart Will Go On is playing while Frank, the Titanic, is sinking the entire time, and you're hearing from the thoughts of the boat. So something like that. You can do this. We're gonna go down, starting with you. You can't take mine, sorry.
I know, I was literally about to say Titanic, and then you said it. But, okay. I'm just trying to think, like, what's a movie that if you watched it and there was just a cube and a roll, it would be jarring, but you'd maybe not understand it, but you would enjoy it. And I would say, I don't think Frank should be the lead. I think he should pop up intermittently. So that's why I'm going to say he should be Don Corleone in The Godfather. People come up to him, they're like, he's like, you come to me on the day of my little cube's wedding. I want it so bad. Make it happen.
I think that's fantastic. Pерлina?
I'm gonna go with a TV show, and this is such a millennial answer, but I think Rue would be Monica in Friends.
Yes! Yes! Also, whenever she is Rue on the soundstage, you are holding up that thing, but Monica just doing that and moving in that way is fantastic. I love that.
Would Jack appear with the PVC?
I mean, if you'll have me.
Are you the apartment?
I'll be the apartment. No. Frank comes in as Don Corleone in Friends.
Don Corleone is the apartment? Amazing. That is very good. Chris, you're casting Kratos, playing another part.
The Denzel role in Training Day. Oh, you like to get wet. I'm King Kong in this MF'er, boy.
There you go. There you go.
I don't know how to follow that. Yeah, no, I'm one of my favorite movies of all time is Jaws, and I would love to see Faye as Chief Brody, mostly because I'd like to see her fight a shark. Yes. I think that would be awesome.
Ariel, what movie would you then direct in place of somebody? You know what? Who would you play?
Well, I feel like I've lived a lot of Anne Hathaway in The Devil Wears Prada. Great.
I involved in this? Are you calling me into this? That's fucked up.
I think that's on par.
Yeah. So wait, who am I in that? Yeah. I haven't seen that. So it didn't land as hard for me, but I understand what you're doing. Very good. Video games. How many of you guys are really big video game players? Yeah?
Oh.
Starting.
Well.
Yeah. That's all right. What are you playing right now?
What am I playing right now?
What have you played recently?
Ball X Pitch. I'm playing that. Oh, also, I was too scared to play them when I was younger, but I just started playing all of the Resident Evil games. I hadn't played. I started with 2 remake. I was like, oh, this is really scary. I get why people love this. Here we go. I'm on 7 now, and it's the first-person perspective is terrifying. Yeah. No, I will never play that game in VR. I'm still too scared for that.
God, yeah. I played the VR version and noped the hell out in that first build. No, not for me. Pерлina, what about you?
So I'm very new to video games.
Okay.
And I watched all the cinematics when I got the gig. And so I felt like I just knew all your lines. But I've just recently started playing 2018 God of War.
Nice.
Yeah. And the Spartan Rage, I love it.
I hear that one's okay. That's cool.
I've had to really cut back on games just because I've got arthritis in my thumbs. I don't see as well. Okay, I really stopped because my kids started clowning me, and so I couldn't take it. Like my oldest son is here, I think, somewhere, and but we still, in the few times that we get together, we still have Tekken tournaments. So that's kind of where it kind of is. I'll watch them play, but yeah, my own involvement involves what's his name? Eddie. Because over the years I've memorized the buttons for his moves.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice. That's very good. Deborah?
Yeah, I'm currently playing Ghost of Yotei.
Woo!
There
you go.
I'm absolutely mesmerized by it. And I'm such a completionist. Like, I still have only fought one Yotei boss because I just want to do everything, get every altar, go to every shrine, do all the things. I'm completely blown away by it, and I'm sort of playing because I'd like to be able to play Laufey on like regular difficulty, maybe even push it a little bit.
I can hook you up.
Thank you. So I don't know. I'm practicing. I'm trying to play so I can get really good at all the combos. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's great. I would ask you, Ariel, but honestly, we don't let you play anything but Fate.
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't get to play anything else. All right, look, you guys were amazing. You're amazing panelists, and you, my 4,000 closest friends, are absolutely amazing. Is it cool if I get a picture with you guys? Cool. All right, cool. Ariel, let's get the phone out. Hey, wait, the lav mic works. I could have been walking around this whole fucking time. All right, you have the longest arm, sir. You're gonna get to take that. Let's all get together.
Yeah, I'll be on this side.
You on that side. Let's go in. Break. I'm up higher. There it is. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Thank you for letting me take a photo with you guys. We have one more thing to show. Thank you again to the panelists. Have a really awesome Comic-Con, everybody.